So I'm home. I've nearly been home now 2 weeks, and really missing Kokoda. Yeah, there is a such thing as Kokoda blues, which obviously I am feeling at the moment. So wanting to plan my next adventure, and obviously just feeling a little bit flat because I've got nothing to work towards now. So yeah, it's interesting how you sort of get over there and you're feeling like it's so tough at the time, and then yeah, for it to be all over, and you've worked for something for over 12 months and planned for something, and it's done now. So what's next? But I'm feeling really good. I didn't actually do a post the last day that I finished. It just went super quick. So literally we finished because we were running so late on that last day. You're meant to sort of only trek about an hour. We trekked for about 5-6 hours on that day. So once we got in there, we sort of had to get going to the war cemetery, and then we had to get back to the hotel, get everything organised, say goodbye to the porters, empty all our bags, which is a bit of a process as well, guys. So just letting you know that when you get back to the hotel, you have to empty anything that the porters need to take with them to clean. And also just double check with the hotel that you're staying at that if they do professional boot cleaning, because I got my boots done and they come back nearly brand new, so it didn't even look like I trekked Kokoda, which is really good for customs when you come back through. So maybe that's a question to ask. Some of the other girls got their laundry done as well. So that might be something. Just be aware that it is island time and they potentially may not get it back. In this case, they did get it back, but because you're out of there, depending on your flight, quite early in the morning, you just have to make sure that they know that and they're aware of that. So pretty much what I've done is I've just written down some things that I took on the trip, that I would take again, and things that I wouldn't take. So like I promised that I would. So packing list. So what I took. So I took 4 sets of socks. That was enough for me. Our trek was quite dry, so I didn't actually need to swap out my socks so much. I took my boots off every time I crossed a river. So I didn't actually, my boots didn't get wet at all. My socks didn't get wet. So it's just the feeling of nice clean socks makes you feel a little bit better if it is a wet trip. So the first couple of days I wore the same socks. So I wore the same socks 3 days in a row, which was fine. And then I swapped. So I wear Injip toe socks. Literally I had no blisters, nothing. Like I had nothing wrong with my feet. So I put a layer of Vaseline on my feet prior to putting my socks on. Make sure you do this in training. It doesn't feel that bad, like as in weird. It's a bit of a gooey feeling, but if you're training in it, then you'll get used to it. So 4 pairs of socks. Rain jacket. I took a rain jacket. I didn't use it. I did use it, but as soon as I started trekking, I got really hot, so I took it off. So it was no good. So I personally wouldn't take a rain jacket again. We had a relatively dry trip. However, we did have 2 days of rain. But I wouldn't, because you're wet, you're hot, and they don't breathe. So it's a no for me. I took a poncho, just a general over poncho. I wouldn't take that again. I didn't get any use out of it. I didn't even get it out of the pack. No purpose for me, just extra weight. I took a pair of long pants that zip off at just under the knee. Really good. I slept in them or had them around camp at night. And then a couple of days I did trek in them as well if it was a bit cooler in the morning, because the higher up you get, does get a bit cold. So so I did take that. Recommend them, they're really good. I took 3 pairs of bike shorts. Now I wore bike shorts most of my trip. They were a brand called Run Faster, which is a company that's based in Sydney, and they are a company that have, like, it's swimwear. So the bike shorts are actually swimwear. So they dry super quick. They're thick enough. They've got pockets on both sides for a mobile phone and a pack of tissues or something like that if you need it on the track. Come in really colourful colours, or you can just get them in plain. So I will pop a link in my video of all the brands that I'm going to go through here. So the In-Jip toe socks, the Run Faster. So I also use Run Faster sports bras, same concept. So they are a quick drying swimmer type top. So I took 2 of those and just swapped them out. So they were quite fine. I took a soft cotton sports bra just to wear at night, because obviously you're around camp, you want to have that support, but you also it's another layer, and it's, you know, it's just one thing. I took a pair of undies for each day, which, you know, was really good. I actually took the I actually wore the Modibodi period undies because they're sweat absorbent, so they were really, really good. I found them to be fantastic. I had no chafe, I had no issues with that. I didn't get any chafing, I didn't get any rubbing, I didn't feel uncomfortable. So recommendations on the Modibodi, I'll pop the link in for that. I took a long sleeve cotton shirt that was supplied by the company I went with, which is Adventure Professionals. It was just a long sleeve, pretty much version of this. You would have seen in my previous videos, that was supplied by Adventure Professionals, and I wore that at night around camp with my long pants. As I said, it does get quite cool. I did take a jumper. It was a really lightweight, over sort of sized jumper, that just one thing to put on, because as I said, it can get quite cool at night, and you just want something that's a little bit more. One night we had you would have noticed that I said it was super windy. It was absolutely freezing that night, so that helped, and I did end up sleeping in that, so that was a good tip. I took two quick dye t-shirts similar to this, short sleeve, v-neck, quite loose fitting. They're just from Big W. I think they were $12. Fantastic. Try and stick to your darker colours. I took a grey, light grey. You could see where I was in the water and where I wasn't. So probably advisable that if you were to do that, to take like a dark colour, like dark. I took navy, which was fantastic. Black, you know, dark green. Any of those colours work quite fine. I had salmon trekking boots, so I had the high ankle trekking boots. Fantastic. Wouldn't have changed them for the world. They didn't miss a beat. I had, as I said, I had no feet issues, so it was fantastic. I did read somewhere about the no-tie laces, so I decided to get a pair of these. Absolutely fantastic. So they're literally like a cord that you attach to the laces, and you can just pull it open. So no tying. Fantastic when you're taking them off to go to a river and you're in camp. You know, you've got something stuck in your boot or anything like that. It's literally just a zip cord. I'll pop the link in for you down below. I took a pair of sandals to cross the rivers, just a strappy pair, so quite grippy sole. I ended up finding that I was gripping quite a lot in them, so and they were just Velcro zip like sandals, and they're from Mountain Warehouse, which is based in New Zealand, so I'll pop the link for them as well. I just had a cap. I wore a cap, not a wide brim hat. Yeah, I found that was quite good. You know, it was water resistant, and, you know, my head didn't feel too hot in it as well. Yeah, so that's clothing. Don't take more than 2 sets of shirts or pants or anything like that. You don't need it. Literally, you smell, but you only smell yourself. Everyone smells. So after a couple of days, everyone starts smelling, but you don't smell it. You only smell yourself, and you think, well, if I can smell myself, I'd hate to think what they're thinking of me, but you can't. So, so just be aware that, you know, the two sets of clothing to swap out, maybe halfway through the trip. Look, you can alternate. Sometimes you do get opportunities to do a bit of a wash, and if you do that, I've got some tips later on for that. So, which we did, and we had quite a sunny day, so it was really good, and all of our clothes dried. Look, wash is a mild saying. They aren't fully washed, but they feel clean. All right, so trekking equipment or tools. So I took I actually got gifted a cooling towel. You would have seen in the photos most of my images, that this cooling towel, absolutely fantastic. I wore it the whole time because it's quite hot and humid over there, especially when you're going up the hills. You want a towel, this towel just sits around your neck and you can rotate it, and it actually holds the coldness of whether you dipped it in the river or wherever, and you can, you know, wash your face, wipe your face with it. It holds a lot of water, so you can actually run some water on your hair and everything like that. Fantastic. I do believe they were from Amazon. I will ask the girl that bought them accidentally and gifted one to me, which was fantastic. Thanks, Marsha. Yeah, and you just wet it every time you go in a creek. So you just ask your porter or one of the guides to say, look, is this okay if I just use this water? Sometimes they'll say no, it's not good water to use, because obviously you got it around your neck and you don't want to have yuckies around. But yeah, just ask them prior to doing it. I took cotton gaiters. I actually took 2 sets of gaiters. So I took the oil skin ones, so the leather with elastic band, and I also took a cotton pair that I got from Bunnings. I gave my oil skin ones to my porter. Absolutely useless. I found they just held the mud like crazy, didn't repel, so I ended up using the cotton gaiters, which were fantastic, just short gaiters. I also took long gaiters as well. No point. Too hot in the legs. It was just useless. So I didn't use those. So they were all gifted. Spare pair of laces. So just take your laces just in case your laces actually snap. So it may be your attachment for your no tie, but it's mainly for the laces. They can get caught up on branches and things like that and snap. I had no problems. Head torch. So rookie error. Took a head torch. It was useless. It was, look, it was fine in the tent and walking around to go to the bathroom, but in the mess halls or the huts that we sit in to have dinner, obviously everyone's got a head torch on and they're shining it in everybody's eyes. The one big factor we found was the ones that had the red light setting. Perfect. You could have it on all the time, have it on your head, look at someone, not blind them. Yeah, it was fantastic. So recommend, if you're going to do that, to buy one that's got a red light setting. So that's fantastic. And obviously take some spare batteries, because you'll need them just in case, you know, you never know. Obviously replace them before you leave, but always take some just in case it turns on accidentally in your bag and runs battery flat, and then you've got no torch. So that's definitely a recommendation. I took a 1 litre water bottle to carry my day pack, quite a wide mouth one. So what I did was I got my porter to fill that up, or you fill that up. Put your aqua tabs, which is your tablets to chlorinate the water, leave it for half an hour, and then I also had a 3 litre Camelback that was in my day pack. So what I would do is I would wait for that to fill up, tip it into my Camelback, pop a couple of hydrolytes in there, and then I'd get my porter to fill my bottle up again. Obviously you don't want to be overhydrating, but you want to make sure that you've got water, and there's plenty of water. So there's not a shortage of water. There's water everywhere. You just have to make sure you give it that time to give it the 30 minutes so it can actually, you know, purify. Okay. I wore fingerless gloves. So I wore a set of fingerless gloves that were absolutely fantastic. So literally I had all my tips and my fingers exposed, and they were it was really good. So I wore them most of the time, even if I wanted to put my hand down for my poles. I got no blisters, and I wore them every day. So they were fantastic. Trekking poles. Obviously a given. I've said this in the past. You definitely need to have your poles, either 1 or 2. I had 2. I used them the whole time. I didn't find like it was caught up. It helps. It helps with your balance. It helps with you, you know, getting down places. It helps getting up places. Helps you going to the toilet if you need to. Some of them are quite an adventure. Yeah, so I definitely recommend trekking poles. Any pole's fine. Mine were fine. I bought mine on Amazon. They were a 3-fold pole. I had literally no issues with them. Just make sure that you do take the protective spike off the end, like the flat part off the end. You want it to be the spike, not the actual, there's different ones on the end, like a mud and all that sort of thing. You just want it to be the spike, because that's going to give you the most in. And I found when going downhill, obviously you put it into the mud and then you step your foot against it. So putting it in and then stepping your foot against it when you're going downhill really helped balance and everything like that. And obviously, because it's very slippery. I took a bandana. I didn't wear it anywhere else except my wrist. It was like my sweatband, so I was able to just, you know, have that on all the time. I had that on every day and just wiped my forehead with sweat, because you do sweat quite a bit. Spare batteries, I've run over that. 4 blue towels. So there's a hospital towel that's it's blue that you can buy online. It's called Blue Sterile Towels. I took 4 of them. I ended up giving 2 away to other trekkers, but two would be fine. So I used that to dry my feet after a river crossing. I used it in the morning if I was stepping out, go to the bathroom, have my breakfast or anything like that without my shoes on. I'd come back and my feet would be damp from the dew, and I'd wipe my feet down first before putting my Vaseline on. So that's something that definitely I would take alongside a towel. So a quick drying towel. You don't need a full towel, so you don't need a big size towel. I thought I didn't have a big size towel, I had a medium sized towel. Look, the showers and everything most of the time you've got clothes on anyway, so there's only a couple of showers, Minari being one, that you're fully enclosed and you actually can, you know, strip off. But most of the time you're in a creek or you're in a pipe that comes out of the cliff or anywhere with a tarp around you, so you don't really want to get fully exposed anyway. So definitely just a small microfiber towel's fine. Earplugs, definitely needed them. So they were something that definitely the other trekkers sort of were asking if I had any spare, stuff like that. So definitely earplugs. There are snorers in a group. Doesn't matter what group you go. You think you know them, you don't until they're tired. So earplugs, definite. Air mattress. So I took an air mattress, Mountain Design. I'll put the link in the bio after this. So it was full length, self-inflating. You have to get self-inflating. Don't get these ones that you have to blow up, because that's the last thing you want to be doing at the end of the day, is blowing your own air mattress up and sitting there and buggering around with it. My one was perfect, easy to pack up. I just left it open, and then just before I got to bed, closed it off with the valve. It was perfect. My sleeping bag, I took my own sleeping bag. Some of the guys complained that the sleeping bags that they got from the company were a little bit bulky, so it did take up a lot of room within the actual bag itself, the porter bag. So you can sort of bring your own sleeping bag. It's going to be quite compact and small, but still warm enough for those cooler nights. So it does, as I said, it does get quite cool. I took a Spinifex pillow that my auntie gifted me. So it was a full pillow, like a half pillow, but quite big. I don't know if I'd take that again. So I actually use my dry bag underneath that pillow. So I would just use my dry bag full of my clothes. So, which was quite adequate. So yeah, I just run with that. Lollies. Oh my gosh, I took too many lollies. So I started handing lollies out after the second day because they were just weighing me down too much. So you do need a few little snacks and lollies and things like that, but not copious amounts. So I would say 2 bags of something and maybe a bag of sour worms or something like that. Maximum, that's all you need. So I wouldn't be getting any more than that. Dry bags. So I gave a dry bag to my porter, Stephen, before we started to trek. So they also have to put their stuff in your porter pack if you're having a porter. So they put it in the top. So please make sure that just because you think you've got a porter, you have to fill that porter pack right up and leave no room for them. So please make sure that you just pack what you need and not overpack. So I gave him a 20-litre dry bag and he used that for his stuff and he was really appreciative, and he kept that at the end. Look, it's $15 for a dry bag. It's really a small thing, and it does break the ice with your porter if he doesn't speak much English, and they really do appreciate it. So dry bags, I took all different sizes, 15, 20 litre, 5 litre, like I took literally all of them. So yeah, so I'd just be sort of mindful of taking lots of different sizes, so if you can, because that's really good. Rightio. Medication. So this is going to vary for every single person, but I'm just going to run through what I took. So I took hydrolytes, obviously, for my camel pack. I took aquatabs, which is your purification. Malaria tablets, obviously see your doctor, whatever they recommend. That's a daily thing. Nurofen, take more than what you think you need. Some people will pop in Nurofen every 4 to 6 hours. As long as you work out that you probably need about 4 to 6 or 4 tablets a day, roughly, take that much. I didn't take enough for some reason. I don't know what happened. Panadol, same thing. Any histamines, maybe one a day, one to two a day. General antibiotic. So obviously we had a lot of people that were needing general antibiotics, whether it be for their toes or cuts or something like that. So amoxicillin, Ibolex, Keflex, something like that, whatever your doctor recommends, but I would definitely take a general antibiotic. Band-aids, blister packs, pads, all that sort of thing, just in case. This is just in case. Stingos, antifungal cream, tea tree powder, which Chemist Warehouse sells. I took that just to put on my feet, so it just dries your feet out, and it's it really does help. Strapping tape, Vaseline. So Vaseline, I took 2 tubs, one in my day pack that I'd had because of my river crossings and taking my boots on and off, and one in the porta pack. So just small little tubs. I didn't use all of it, but I just had 2 just so I had it on hand. Benadine wipes, alcohol wipes, same sort of thing, just precautionaries. Like, it's common sense, most of this stuff, but I just thought I'd run through it. Bushman's Aerogard spray, you need that every day. If it's not the mosquitoes, it's bugs, so you just want to get rid of them. Sunscreen, definitely need them, because the malaria tablets are going to make you susceptible to sunburn, which a lot of us did even though we had the sunscreen on, so just be aware of that. I also took a face moisturiser, which was 50 plus, so that had a sunscreen in it, so that was a really good tip. That was from Mecca. I'll put the link in there. Roll-on deodorant, I didn't take aerosols, no point. Any mosquito bands, I had them on. Look, I don't know whether they worked or not. We didn't really see a lot of mosquitoes, so maybe they didn't work. I had them. Look, there's a 3-pack. It's lightweight, so you can just chuck them in. Toothbrush, toothpaste. I took a little mouth rinse. That was really good when you sort of were in between camps and you sort of didn't have time to get your toothbrush and everything out. You could just brush your teeth and be done with it there. Wilderness wash. Obviously, you need that to be washing in the creeks and things like that. That's probably the best thing. Okay, extras. So I took a power bank, which my porter decided to use most of the time for his phone, which was fine. So there was a lot of power banks to go around. 20,000 amp, I'll put my link in the thing. It lasted nearly the whole time, so that was fine. P&G money. So on the track, obviously you want to be buying drinks and chips and things like that. You say you won't, but you absolutely will. When you get to the top of a hill and you see someone with a cold tub of drinks, you want to be buying something. So drinks were normally 10 kina, and the chips were normally 5 kina. They also make bags and hats and all different things, so you may want to buy something like that. So make sure you take some money on the track. That'll be really good. I had a light that hung in my tent only for my podcast, so I wouldn't take that again. So I would just use my head torch. I just thought it was a bit of a waste of time. Tripod for filming, which of course, my porta pack cover. So I took a porta pack cover for my porta pack. A lot of people didn't do that, and it did get wet. So mine was protected the whole time. So I just took, I think, a 60-litre porta pack cover. You can buy it from Anaconda. I'll put the link in there. Day pack. I wish I'd taken my own day pack. My day pack was way too big. I also had to swap day packs because other people didn't have camelbacks. So my backpack at the time that I got off the company didn't have a exit for my camelback. So I needed to swap. I would definitely take your own day pack. Train in it, take it, make sure it's small, make sure you fit things in it. Another tip with day pack is to take a dry bag inside your day pack for your food pack. It's really easy just to take you get it in a Ziploc bag, but sometimes they break and they're hard to seal. Your dry pack, your dry bag was fantastic. So I used one of those for that. That was a great tip, because you have to put your spoon, bowl, and spoon fork, so your spork, your bowl and your mug in that as well. So also when I was talking about the laundry, so dry bags are awesome laundry bags. So you chuck all your stuff in, chuck your wilderness wash in, and you close it and wash it. So you just scrunch it around, tip it out. You can put new water in if you want, rinse it out, rinse your clothes out and hang them out. So that's how we washed our clothes. It was, fantastic. Good tip. Tissues, you can not with the company we went with, we got tissues in our pack. I didn't take toilet paper. I just used the tissues. I had adequate tissues. I took, I think, 5 packs extra, too many. I probably only take 1, 2, maybe. Spare glasses, obviously I wear glasses. I took my spare glasses just in case anything happened. Obviously I did get hit in the head with a trekking pole at one stage, so they could have broke. So I did take the spare glasses just in case. Sunglasses, a lot of people took sunglasses. Obviously it's quite hot over there and quite bright, so it's probably not a bad idea. Ziploc bags, you can take spare Ziploc bags to put little things in like rubbish or along the track. Obviously I did notice, and that was one thing I did notice, was there was a massive amount of rubbish on this track. It's absolutely disgusting. Whoever is leaving rubbish on the actual track, it's awful. So you need to take your rubbish with you. If you're eating something and it's in plastic, you're taking that with you. You're not leaving it on the track. It's gross. These are people's houses, like places that they live. And yeah, do not litter. I took a watch, so I didn't use it. I left it in my bag. It was just more trouble than it was worth. I used my phone. So I had my phone in my pocket with tissues on the other side, like I said. And that's got the time and everything on it. Just put it in airplane mode. It's fantastic. Normally lasts about 2-3 days, the battery out there, even with the amount of video I was taking. So yeah, no, all good for there. I took a heart rate monitor. Now this is just me. I have one of those that connects to an app that can tell me exactly how many calories I've burned and how much exercise I'd done for the day. One day I burned 4,900 calories. So just giving you an indication of how many calories you can burn, quite a lot. Hence why the food packs, which I'll put an image up of the food packs, had, yeah, so many sugary, high fatty foods in it, because obviously you need that reimbursement from the calories. I took a map of Kokoda, and wasn't I popular? So I took a gradient map of Kokoda that I purchased off eBay. I'll put the link in the bio, but I think someone mentioned you actually have to buy a book with it, but it's a waterproof map, and it was one of the best things I ever took. So I had people coming up to me asking where we were, how much further, where are we going, is it tough? Is it not tough? Look, some people don't want to know, which is fine. If you don't want to know, don't take that. But I'm a person that sort of needs to know and does my research, so I needed to know. Hence, I took the map. And a lot of other people wanted to know too. So it was actually really good, and you got to sort of know where you were and what was around us and things like that. So obviously I'd done a lot of research on the track itself, into the war history of the track. And I knew a lot before going. I actually knew a lot of the places that we were going. I'd already done research on them. And I'm a bit OCD like that. But some people don't want to know. So some people don't want to know where they're going. They want to experience the history while they're over there and have that feeling. I'm not one of those people. I'm one of these people that would like to know. So, yeah, so I took the map. Another thing that I did take was knee braces, so knee guards or knee braces. Look, in regards to that, I wore them one day and actually made my knees worse. So you just have to sort of alter that. So use them in training, see how you feel in them, and yeah, go from there. I think that's about it. So I've written down everything. I think that's my list. So I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to tell you. Yeah. Obviously, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to flick me a message. I have got my own Instagram page, Tara Does Kokoda 2023. I'll keep that open. But if you want to message me, you want to ask me any questions, if you're going on a trip and you want to know anything, please feel free to reach out. I will reply. It might not be straight away, but I will reply, and I'll get back to you, and I'll try and answer to the best of my ability any questions that you do have. I had a fantastic trip. I had no problems whatsoever. As I said, I was very prepared, and I definitely knew sort of what I was getting myself into. Not to the extent of the days and how it all went, because that sort of threw my OCD out a bit with the misorganization, like with timelines and things like that. But no, I had a great time. Can't wait for my next adventure, whether it be Kokoda again or Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah, this is now the new me trekking, and hashtag not dead yet. We'll keep going. So yeah, as I said, any questions, please flick me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I'll check out. Hope this video has helped someone that is either planning on going on a trek or obviously booked a trek. And yeah, that's, as I said, it's just my personal opinion, most of these things. If you have any, feedback, please let me know. And yeah, talk to you soon, guys. Thanks.